All right, Google Gemini 2.0 might actually be replacing Photoshop.
Oh no!
I'm serious. From image creation, image edits, clothes swaps, and a plethora of things just from text and conversational. Let's just jump right in and see what I'm talking about. You're going to search for AI Studio. So just search for AI Studio, and the first or second name should pop up as Google AI Studio. So just click on that. And once you click on that, it should open up on this page. Now, I'm going to directly tell you what we are going to work with today. We're going to be working with the create prompt, and I'm going to show you exactly what it is about. And right over here, we are going to see create prompt. That's where we're going to be. Over on to your right, you're going to see there is a model and there is output format. Now, this is exactly what you want to make sure that you have it at Gemini 2.0 Flash image generation experimental. And the minute you do that, you have no other options here but for image and text. Now, this is why I was saying what I said at the beginning, that it can literally replace Photoshop. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the example that Google has given us. Mind you, you can get APIs and this whole interface is made for developers, but this is free if you have a Google account. You do not need anything else. If you have a Google account, it's 100% free as of recording this video. So you should absolutely check it out. We're going to click the first one, which says edit an image of croissant. So we're going to click on that. It gives us a croissant. It says add a chocolate drizzle to the croissant. You're going to see how it does that. See, it has the image consistency, vanilla toppings on it. Just something random. I wanted to see if it can actually add that. You can also see how many seconds it did. So you see, it held on to its consistency. That's what we're talking about. So it's conversational. If you wanted to actually remove something, so say for example, I didn't like the use of vanilla, then you're just going to delete the part where it said vanilla and you're going to start back again and it's going to again work with it. That is how you can see it holds on to the consistency. Now we can actually, if we wanted to do something more, and I was actually testing it out, if we look at colorizing an image, so I'm going to actually open up this one right over here. So you can see this is a black and white photo of a person. And then I just said colorize this image and it basically made it into a color photograph. Can you imagine how long this would have taken us? And now you can actually do something more with it. So you see there is a specific pose this has had in her hand. She's kind of holding her hand together. What if I wanted to change that pose? So we're going to try that now. Make the hands wave a camera and make her smile. Let's see if it can do that. But if it can, you should be able to see consistency. Now you see there is sometimes you have the issues over here, but you also see that it's holding on to the consistency. Now I'm going to also add another one. Remove the original hands. So this is what I was also talking about, is I'm mentioning here also, is that it's conversational. So it's creating new hands and it's removing the old hands and it's working with different sets, all while keeping the consistency of what it actually came from. And that is something which I find is mind-blowing. So it started from something like a black and white image, then it goes into a color image, then it goes into this. Now, change her background. Change her background to a modern city. So you can see that this is in a way edit. And also another thing I want to note, if you are going to edit in Google Gemini, you're going to get this logo as a word, as a logo mark. So you're going to be able to see that. So do keep in mind for that. But also you could see it may not be the best of job. Again, it's probably not the best of job by a long shot, but something that would have taken a longer time, which is consistency and holding on to the coherence, is very much seen over here. And you can see, I mean, do I like this output? Probably not, but it does colorize. And then we had this hand, and now we can see that it held on to the previous thing because that's what we were talking about. So that is another way that you can also use it. What we're going to do is we're going to actually take an image generated by AI and we're going to do something interesting with it. So for this one, I'm going to use another free tool. I have also mentioned in my other video, you can check it out right over here, where I did mention about image effects quite briefly. You can check it out over there. Today, I'm also going to talk about image effects. So image effects is a thing by Google and it's completely for free. So I'm going to use this today. I'm not going to use any other platforms to show what you can do if you wanted to create a 2D and if you wanted to get something interesting from there. Now, I'm going to do 35 millimeter and let's say portrait of a woman smiling at the camera with a background, black background. Yeah. I think that should be a good detail. And then we give minimal and then we give. So this is another feature of, as we are also talking about, so you can see how image effects works. We're going to do landscape and we're going to do best. So it's powered by Imagen. So Imagen 3, that's Google's engine. So that's what it's powered by. And then you click on edit. And then it's creating. And then you can see over here, if you wanted to also like do some other edits and stuff, you can see that over there. Clearly at this point, it's also loading. In the meantime, you can see they can also create other things. So it can also design a birthday card. Let's try and see what it's all about. So the prompt goes by generate and design a birthday card with beautiful floral designs. The text should read large and say happy birthday, wish you a day filled with joy, laughter, and all your favorite things. May this next year be your best one yet, bringing you exciting adventures and wonderful memories. Cheers to you. Now, do you notice something? It has kept everything intact. This is unshort prompt where you can actually get this. You can literally make a card and it's holding coherence. If you see over here, they have two different types and they also have everything mentioned properly. Nothing is skewed. That's amazing. But let's say I want to change. So change the words to happy birthday to you. And let's see if that holds on. That is what I'm talking about, that it gives you happy birthday to you. So it changed a little bit there because it gave, but you see, again, jokes aside, this is less of what people are calling as AI slop. But if you're using it for specific things, you can actually get good product out of it. It is holding on to coherence. And as we saw in the previous one as well, it can also give us specific renders without changing everything around the background. Now, if we go over here and if we look at, so you can see Imagen does have very, very strong regulations when it comes to image policies, even though we did not have anything that nefarious over here, but it still blocked one of them. Doesn't matter. We're going to, for the purposes of this one, we're going to use this image. I'm going to download this image right over here and I'm going to put it into our prompt. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just click on upload and we're going to do the standard procedure. We're going to click on the image and there you have it. Now, this image is an image. Obviously, we just generated it from the image effects and this is an AI image, 100%. Now, what I'm going to say is that change the hairstyle, this person. Again, we're talking about consistency. And that is what I feel like is a very, very powerful thing when it comes to these kind of models. You can also see how long it takes. You see, they changed without changing anything else. Mind blown. Without changing anything else. I will give it though, for those who might also think that to claim it with Photoshop, I do understand the precision of Photoshop with layers. This is in a way destructive and also not very high fidelity. I do understand that. Looking for something quick and dirty, I think there is something here that you could definitely use and there is potential. Now I'm also going to I want to change her hair a little bit more. So make her hair bob cut. Now we have this. Brilliant. So we see her from the original image that we had over here, right? And then it went to the first one where it was a tied back hair. And now it has this bob cut. Great. And again, through every image, you're going to find this kind of a logo. There's obviously the logo to give a mark that it's made by Google Gemini. Now, if I wanted to do something more and push it, generate a depth map for this image. For example, this is a depth map, but if I'm going to say generate, and I do not like this one. So again, if you do not like a specific generation, the best way to hold on to the previous thing that you did is clearly just delete. So delete everything that you had mentioned and start afresh. So what AI is going to do is it's going to read back into what you have over here. So I'm going to just say make a 3D mesh of this image. If you do see something, they have made a kind of a 3D-ish. So that I would hold to it, and I'm going to keep this, and I'm going to say, change the lighting on this. You see where I'm going with this? It's started with an image, you change the hair, you change the hairstyle, you change the quality of it, and now you change the light. And that is an idea, but this is a front-facing image, right? And you may be wondering, well, what if I wanted something else? We are not seeing consistency yet. We are seeing coherence, absolutely. What about the consistency? Well, for that, we're going to say, give photograph of this image in a side profile. You see that? This is exactly the side profile. Now we're going to do is give a photograph. I'm basically just going to take the same thing and I'm just going to say, give a photograph of this image from behind. Again, it should be able to give us that. And you're going to see the front, side, and the back. Exactly. And there you can actually see that it is doing not just the front face, but it's doing side and it's doing the back. So it's basically getting all the different sides. I'm going to now click on the branch and I have now started another conversation specifically with this image. And I want to change the angle. So make her look brilliant in just awestruck. These reactions you're getting from me are just true reactions because I'm doing it on camera. So you can see that. So you can see it is holding on to this character's face and it is actually keeping that face right over there. And if I again go back to this and if I say branch from here again, it's again, I'm going to take it back. So this is again how you can keep going back to, and the way it comes is that it's opening up a conversation and it opens on the side. You can see it over here. So in the library, every time it branches. So in any case, let's go back to that image over there. So I wanted to go to this image over here and then we click on branch from here. Exactly. Now, this is a close-up shot. We got an upper angle. What if I wanted to do change lighting on this image and make this image a medium headshot with her torso and a hand pose like a headshot. Make a full body shot in a 9:16 aspect ratio. You can also specify ratio. We're literally using one image, which was this image right over here, again, from here. And we are doing so many things with it. And I have a full body image of this person right over here. Zoom in on her. This is very much conversational because you can see literally talking like you would be talking to ChatGPT or Claude or any of them for editing. So this, if I would call it, is vibe Photoshop because it's literally kind of like Photoshop except without the layers. So you don't have a layer per se. So you kind of have to always go back and click on the branch in order to get an image that you want to sample source from. So I have this of the same exact face that we have started with, but I want to change her outfit. So let's say I want to change her top. She has a top. Now what I'm going to do is change the lighting on this image. Make this a 35mm shot. Adding lenses or adding like angles help generally in prompting for images. So you see it also gave that subtle tint difference of a 35mm. Make her expression more somber or stand in a professional way with her hands folded. Wow, we just made her super somber and she is really looking at us. Now let's say make her background be an infinite hallway. To see the idea, we started with a woman here. We had her hair cut into a bob cut, gave her a full body shot. Then we gave her a corporate dress. And now she seems to be in an endless hallway. Is it a good job, this one? Probably not. So that's why it's a good idea to play around with it. But you can see the potential here is endless. Now, let's say if you wanted to do a product. So I'm going to say shampoo. And then another one I'm going to do is might be a controversial one. So I'm going to say this, but also take it with a pinch of salt. Do it at your own discretion. I am never encouraging or endorsing this kind of a thing. Being a photographer myself, I do understand this is not something that you want to do. but I know people would normally try to do this and kind of thing in Photoshop. So this is something that I'm just like showing as an education purpose. So if you just go over here and if you take this photo, you can see this photo is clearly watermarked. Again, I'm going to be actually linking this specific image over here. I'm going to be putting this specific link down in the description to give attribute to the person who took the photograph so that the person is attributed in this video. But for purposes of this video, you can see what is going to happen. Remove the watermark from this photograph. Witchcraft. But it also did something extra. That's where you want to be a little bit careful. It not just removed the watermark, it also removed all of the lovely work that the photographer tried to capture. But you do get the idea. If you wanted to just remove watermark, something that would have taken you probably an hour or so, even in Photoshop, probably even 30 minutes, just literally took us a couple of seconds. And while that's loading, you can see as you do your things, it actually loads up over here. So all of the different things come over here. You can see how all of them are. And each and every time you're branching out, it creates a separate new category for it. You're going to see also here, if I wanted to go back to her while that image is being done. So it's going to create a new branch. So we go back here and let's see. I'm going to take this one over here. We can do some fun stuff with this one. So I'm going to add this over here. We go back on the prompt and can upload it. I'm going to take this image. Now we've seen the watermark. We've seen what it can do with faces. We've also seen the colorization. So you can do from black and white to color. But I'm also going to show you something that you could do with the product. Let's say you're a product photographer and you want to do something with it, right? Now it's remove the background. Now what we can do is place this product in a blue oceanic setup with high heat lighting and strong heat light. Make the highlight the now there might be some hallucinations here, but also if you notice, I've used technical terms. It's also a good thing to have those. You can see what it's done there. It's given a little bit of a shimmer. It's still our same product. The product is exactly the same. So if you know your technical details, like as a graphic designer or as a photographer, even if you don't, it's a good thing to research those things. It will help you when you're working with these kind of things. So then I just click on run. Previous one took literally 5 seconds to generate. You see right over there, shampoo. We started with shampoo and now it's shampoo. What if I want this shampoo with the image that we had in the previous one? So let's say I'm going to have her. So I'm going to actually download her. So we have the shampoo, but I want to go back and I want to use this image over here, right over here. And we're going to go to branch. So you go branch from here. Now what's going to happen is I'm going to add a file. And this is where we are now in the territory of adding 2 elements to splice and keeping coherence. We have the shampoo, we have the model from the previous prompt, and we've also added a couple of details. Do you notice it is the same expression and it is the same shampoo? Now let us do something else. So here we have a product and a person together. And also as you saw in the previous one, now you see. So we have her, she's wearing a turquoise top and she's holding the shampoo kind of in an awkward way, but you could also finagle that essentially if you wanted it, and you could basically change it. Now you cannot actually in paint, as of recording this video, you cannot in paint in Gemini 2.0, but this is what you're able to do. I want to go back to our shampoo. The fact that it's also giving us the shampoo in a glow is just brilliant. I mentioned the sans serif, so it's giving us the sans serif. Now I want to continue on this. Add, and this is the shampoo thing, add dramatic lighting to this image. And the next thing that I want to do is I'm basically going to now take a picture of a dog, a cute puppy. We've already seen some examples over here and you can see the shampoo is there, and add a prominent still light in orange. I started with one image from image effects. Oh, look at these cute ones. So I'm going to take this dog over here. I took one image and now we are over here. So essentially you can literally choreograph a kind of a photo shoot. So you have the same backgrounds in each of them. And now all of a sudden I have this, but I want to make it more like tilted, make the bottle float in mid air and tilted. You see, that's what I'm talking about. So even though the shadow here is a little bit finicky, again, this is not complete Photoshop, but if it's for a quick visualization, this can help. If you want to see something before you want to get into Photoshop, before you want to get into rendering, I think this can help. Now, another thing I wanted to actually show, and that is the reason why I'm going to talk about Puppy. You wanted to generate a story. Let's say you want to have a storyboard. We're going to visualize a story now, a visual story. So this is Barney's big day out, right? So this is about a goat. Now, here is where I'm going to add that dog section. You can also see that they, as in Google AI Studio, has had the ability to hold on to character consistency. We've not just seen it with our that we've done with the lady and the shampoo, but we're also seeing it over here. It's also creating the images back and forth. You can see like we are again back to this and it's again coming here. The story has ended, but what if I wanted to continue? What if I wanted to continue more than this? And that's just, so for this one, I'm actually going to just quickly, even though this is not a drop video, I'm going to say continue this story with the inclusion of a puppy. I'm going to add this right over here. So the story ends with Barney looking up and Barney meeting its mom and everything. But I'm going to add this and then I'm going to add the image of our puppy right here. So the image of our puppy should be right about here. Now this is over here. And now what should happen is, you see that it kind of changed the dog though into its own style, but it still added it nonetheless. And that's what I like about it. Changed the dog, but it added the dog in its style. And that's a very interesting thing. I'm actually also going to be downloading this one. I want to show you another use case scenario in a separate context. It's also continued the story in its own trajectory based on the story that I gave from Grok. So that is another way you can implement it if you just want to see and if you wanted to like add it. But another way that I also wanted to add is that what if you were to have this and this? So it basically made it into a cute. So it took the influence of this board and it basically made this into this character over here. It took 8.6 seconds. And I'm not using any other images except for generated images by Google Image Effects so that you can also try it out yourself completely for free. I'm going to say female superhero. And now we're going to just like download female full body superhero. Yeah. The idea that I'm having now, and I want to show this one out, is that I'm going to upload over here. And what's going to happen is I'm basically going to be taking this image, or I could even take this image over here, have it become a superhero. So let's say I'm going to take, one do we like here? Probably I'm going to go with this one over here. Okay, great. So probably not this image. In that case, we're going to be using the other image that we had made, the one that we is more like a formal. And then I'm also going to be using this one. The idea behind this one that I wanted to show you is that you can combine two images and have coherence of either or of them. Now you can see exactly that's what happened, but you can see how it holds on to the coherence like that. But again, there are going to be limitations for these kind of things for sure. But you can also see that it actually created a 3D render. Now, if I wanted to go over here, it's made like a depth map. No doubt, Photoshop is still the king of precision, non-destructive type of editing. That's 100%. However, for speed and getting things done quick and dirty, I kind of feel like this Google AI Studio is definitely worth checking out. It is 100% free as of recording this video, so you should definitely check it out. Let me know in the comments down below if you have any other ideas you want me to check out with Google AI Studio. So do feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. And if you've liked this video, you might actually also like this video right over here, because YouTube thinks this video is a nice video that you might like to watch. You could also watch this video right over here, because this was my last upload. And you could also check out this playlist right over here. All things said and done, I'm going to catch you in the next video.